Hello, welcome to the 26th session of Current Affairs, Economy and Banking Concepts. Let us look at the first question. Midnight in Chernobyl, the untold story of world's greatest nuclear disaster, has won William E. Colby Award. This book has been authored by. Any guess? Now let us look at what is this midnight in Chernobyl. What is this Chernobyl incident? In fact, it is one of the most severe nuclear disasters in the history of world. There are two such incidents. In 1986, you can see on the left of your screen, 1986 in Ukrainian SSR, that is in Russia, Soviet Russia, where there was like one centrifuge got spoiled and there was a lot of leakage of radioactive particles in the air, so which is one of the disasters. A lot of people were killed. And the next one is 2011 Fukushima Daiichi nuclear disaster. The book written on this particular incident, answer is Adam Higginbotham, option number 3. Answer is Adam Higginbotham, option number 3. Raymond Antrobus is again a novelist. In recent days, in 2018, one of his famous books is The Perseverance. And William Dalrymple is an historian, and mostly his studies is based on India and a critic of East India Company. He penned down books like Mughals, India, based on East India Company, and quite a number of lectures are very famous. You can always go through YouTube. He has been a good critic of East India Company and the kind of loot they have performed in India. Adam Higginbotham is the answer for this question. Bernardine Evaristo is winner of the Mans Booker Prize 2019. Mans Booker Prize 2019, and Margaret Atwood for The Testaments, and Bernardine Evaristo for Girl, Woman, Other. So these two people own Man Booker Prize 2019. You can check it down. Quite a reputed award. Usually appeared in previous year bank exams. Who received this Man Booker Prize? The answer is Bernardine Evaristo for Girl, Woman, Other. Okay. Mark Haddon is again a novelist. As such, no recent books of Mark Haddon. Alright. I think we should move to the next question. Which among the following international companies has recently acquired 9.9% stake in Reliance Jio for rupees 43,574 crores? This is a very recent incident. In the third week of April 2020, one among the 5 companies has acquired this much of stake in Jio. The answer is Facebook. This is in fact the largest FDI in India's technology sector. This is in fact the largest FDI in Indian technology sector, Facebook, and they are going to use the Jio platform to further expand in Indian market using their Facebook and WhatsApp. If you look at the other options, Amazon, we know this is a famous e-commerce company. The founder and CEO at present is Jeff Bezos. Please take it down. Amazon founder and CEO, Jeff Bezos. SoftBank is an investment bank, again founded by Masayoshi Son. He is again the present CEO, Masayoshi Son. It has made quite a number of investments in Indian market as well as in internationally. A number of venture capital has been made by VCs, has been made by this particular organization. To name some important investments in India, Paytm. This can be a question also in the exam. Paytm, First Cry. Again, it is a e-commerce company, sells the baby products. First Cry. Policy Bazaar. We see regular ads come on television. Policy Bazaar. Snapdeal. Again, an e-commerce company. Oyo. Ola, and so many other companies. SoftBank, Masayoshi Son, they are into venture capital. Google CEO Sundar Pichai, Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg, and Apple CEO is Tim Cook. Okay, remember, this is the largest FDI in India in technology sector. It has to be considered as an FDI, and 9.9% stake in Reliance Jio for this much amount, 43,574 crores. If anyone has got a doubt about what is this FDI and FII, so let me just quickly go through this. FDI stands for foreign direct investment, and FII stands for foreign institutional investment. In case of FDI, the foreign entity not only invest, but they also take active participation in the business process, like for example setting up factory, setting up their own, recruiting their own manpower, and setting up their stores, and they also do the business and get the share of the profit. Like for example, if you look at Adidas or maybe Nike, they are single brand retail store. So for single brand retail store, FDI is allowed up to 100% in India. That means they need not partner with any of the Indian entity to expand or to make their business present in India. So in case of Nike or Adidas, they came to India, they have set up the factory, they are producing in India, they have their own sales team and their offices, and they have their store. So it is entirely single brand retail, 100% FDI in India. On the contrary, there are multi-brand retail. For example, Big Bazaar or maybe Spencer. You can get products of different brands. So this is a multi-brand retail store where FDI is not allowed up to 100%. And this is one of the main reasons why Walmart could not come up with their own brand in India. So they have to tie up with Bharti Group, and they are into this. And they have also taken over Flipkart. Walmart, we know in 2019 they took over Flipkart, and they are into e-commerce retailing. But as long as multi-brand retail, the FDI in India is not 100%. So it is not allowed to that extent, so that they can come up with their own brand name. On the other side, we have FII, foreign institutional investment, where the investments are rooted through some institutions, maybe some investment banks, and they don't actively participate in the business. In that case, they simply acquire some amount of stake in some company, some XYZ company. So that is FII. So you can get questions on FDI, the news related to FDI is important for the various exams. Let us move towards the next question. Which among the following became the first non-bank company to receive the Reserve Bank of India nod to enter into co-branding arrangement for prepaid instruments? Now, let us just look at this word prepaid instruments. And why non-banking company? Like, what is a prepaid instrument? And as of now, it has been issued by banking company. Is it so? What is the first such incidence? If you look at the options, the answer is Transcrop International. This is an Indian company. They were into forex. They were into travel and travel financing. They are into payment transfer. So at present, they are into prepaid instrument business also. So what is this prepaid instrument? You can see the image. It looks like quite a debit card, and they have co-branded with Rupee. They have co-branded with Rupee. So remember, generally as of now, whatever debit cards we have seen, mostly it comes with Rupee or maybe MasterCard or Visa, and there used to be a name of a bank here. Now this is a non-bank institution which is using this particular, providing this particular prepaid card, a debit card. Now let's see what are the different types of prepaid instruments available in our country. According to the RBI, they have classified the prepaid instruments in three types. One is closed PPI, semi-closed PPI, and open PPI. Please take it down. Closed PPI, closed prepaid instrument, semi-closed prepaid instrument, and we have this open prepaid instrument. A closed PPI instruments are such which can be used only to buy goods or services from the issuing authority itself. I am repeating it. A closed PPI is such a PPI which can be used to buy goods or services from the issuing authority itself. Let me take an example. Say a metro pass. Delhi Metro is using a prepaid metro pass. So one has to pay the money, get a metro pass, a card, and for the next 1 month, whenever he swaps it, it has been debited from his account. This card cannot be used in any other cases or any other market for payment purpose. Neither you can withdraw cash using that prepaid instrument. Okay, let me take one more example of prepaid card, closed prepaid card. When we move to some malls or maybe some food court, we see that instead of buying using cash, we have to buy using some cards. So at the entrance of the food court, you have to pay some money, get a prepaid card, and move across the food stalls, use that card, swap it, and whatever is the billed amount, that will be debited from that your card. Now for this type of PPI, there is no approval is required from RBI. For this type of prepaid instrument, there is no approval is required from RBI. Remember, no cash withdrawal is possible, neither you can use it outside anywhere. Semi-closed PPIs. Semi-closed PPIs are generally issued by banks, NBFC. They can be used for payment transfer, bill payment. They can be used to purchase goods and services from selected set of vendors which are already tied up or endorsed with that particular prepaid instrument or with that bank or NBFC. But those instruments do not allow cash withdrawal. Remember, semi-closed instruments do not allow bank cash withdrawal. So semi-closed PPIs are there. And if you look at some of the examples of semi-closed PPIs are MobiKwik wallet or maybe Paytm Allian used to have this type of semi-closed PPIs. There used to be some cards usually used in big cities. You'll find some slips are there which can be used as a prepaid instrument, which are given as a bonus to the employees by company. They can use them to procure goods and services. Open PPI, on the other hand, are like travel card, debit card. Like somebody does not have a bank account or a traveler came to India Now, if he or she is not interested to carry cash, so they can move to a bank and get a travel card or a debit card as a prepaid instrument. This can be used for cash withdrawal, payment transfer, almost everything. Now, this Transcorp International is the first company to get the nod from RBI to get into this open PPI instrument like this. This is the first company. Semi-closed and closed PPIs were issued by non-banking companies earlier as well. So do not confuse it. Very important question. This is what is about prepaid instrument. Okay. Paul Merchant is again a company for Forex, international money transfer. Cox and Kings Financial Services into foreign exchange business, holiday financing, similar business. EVIX Cash, world money transfer, they have Forex, recharge, bill payment, gift card, wallet, EVIX Cash wallet is also there. Citrus Payment Solution is an online payment gateway. Citrus Payment Solution is an online payment gateway like CC Avenue. You have seen whenever you are making some purchase through online transactions, then you have to go through a third party, either like CC Avenue or Citrus or similar other companies. So this is an online payment gateway. Okay, so going back, the answer is option number 2, Transcorp International. Let us move to the next question. Which among the following person has recently appointed president of Geneva-based International Motorcycle Manufacturing Association (IMMA) for 2-year tenure? Now, what is IMMA? This is a international organization. You can say this is the voice of all manufacturing organizations across the world. They actually negotiate with the global bodies, governments for their own interest, that how this automobile, two-wheelers automobile business can be further expanded, and that to become a sustainable business model. So this type of negotiations are done. So the India counterpart of this organization, you can say it's a member, like you can say BCCI is a member organization of International Cricket Council. Similarly, we have SIAM, S-I-A-M, SIAM, S-I-A-M, Society for Indian Automobile Manufacturer, Society for Indian Automobile Manufacturer, SIAM, is the Indian counterpart of IMMA, and Mr. Rakesh Sharma, option number 3, Mr. Rakesh Sharma, who is the Executive Director of Bajaj Auto. Mr. Rakesh Sharma, who is the Executive Director of Bajaj Auto, representing SIAM and became the President of IMMA, representing SIAM and became the President of IMMA. This is a recent news. Rakesh Sharma became the president of IMMA. Option number 3 is the answer. Gaku Nakanishi is the president and CEO of Honda Cars India Limited. Gaku Nakanishi, president of Honda Cars India. K.N. Radhakrishnan, Director and CEO of TVS Motors. K.N. Radhakrishnan, Director and CEO of TVS Motors. Rakesh Sharma, Executive Director Bajaj. Vikram Kasbekar, Executive Director and Chief Technology Officer of Hero MotoCorp. Executive Director and CTO, Chief Technology Officer of Hero MotoCorp, and Vinod K. Desai is the CEO of Enfield. Vinod K. Desai is the CEO of Royal Enfield. Recently appointed to take Royal Enfield to go global level? CEO of Royal Enfield. Okay, so I hope you could take it down. Anyway, it will be available in the form of e-book. Let us move to the next question. Dash is interest rate at which usually banks lend to favored customers. Among these 5 rates of interest, which is the rate of interest at which usually banks lend to favored customer? Now, who is a favored customer of a bank? Now, a favored customer is an old customer whose transactions with the bank is good, one who has taken loan earlier and repaid it within time, and this has happened repeatedly, so bank has got a good faith with that customer, and he is also a valuable customer, maybe an HNI, high net worth individual also possible. Now, what happens? Among this rate, it's called prime lending rate, PLR. In fact, this PLR used to be one of the mechanism of forwarding loan in 2006, 7, 8, up to class 2010. That means, suppose a person moves to a bank to take a loan, so his or her interest rate will be PLR plus, say, X percent, PLR plus 3%, PLR plus 3.5%. So what that means, if the most favored customer of the bank comes to the bank, bank will give a loan at say 10%, which is prime lending rate. That means the lowest rate for the favorable customer. But if anybody else moves to the bank, they will be given a loan at 13%, 10 plus 3%, 13% loan. However, after 2010, this system has changed. Prime lending rate concept exists, but the benchmarking of prime lending rate for all other loans, that system has changed. Some of the developmental banks or maybe some of the banks still use the concept of prime lending rate. Now, after 2010, the concept of base rate came, base rate. So this is used for benchmarking all the lending rate. Base rate is known as, this is also existing at present, base rate is known as the minimum rate of interest at which a bank borrows, a bank lends the money. That means below this rate of interest, a bank will not give any loan. If you open RBI website, on the top left side you will see lending rate is one tab. You click on that, you will see the base rate is showing. It varies from bank to bank. Remember, base rate is not decided by RBI. Base rates are decided by banks only. However, recently, like now at present, for the last 2 years, base rate, banks are not free to decide their base rate. This has to be benchmarked with something else called MCLR. So they are linked. That means RBI has given some guidelines, some formulas, some guidelines are given to calculate MCLR, marginal cost of fund-based lending rate. MCLR full form is important for the exam. Please take it down. MCLR stands for marginal cost of fund-based lending rate. Marginal cost of fund-based lending rate. Now, how to calculate this and who calculates this? Nobody regulates it. Please understand. Nobody like repo rate, reverse repo rate, MSF, RBI does not regulate MCLR. RBI gave a guideline, a formula to calculate MCLR to the banks. And every month RBI banks has to calculate MCLR. Based on MCLR, they have to set their base rate. So this is an internal calculation, bank's internal calculation. Base rate is the benchmark, the basis based on where the loans are forwarded in the market. Repo rate and reverse repo rate are policy rates regulated by RBI. Repo rate keeps on changing time to time. These are also physical instrument of monetary policy. Repo rate is a rate under which a bank can borrow from RBI to overcome its shortfall of liquidity, short-term liquidity shortfall, generally overnight borrowing. Reverse repo rate is the reverse one, that means this is the rate of interest in which a bank can sell government securities to RBI, and these two are related. Generally reverse repo rate is less than repo rate, and it will be discussed in more detail in later class where we will discuss about monetary policy, reverse repo rate and repo rate. So coming back, the answer for this question is prime lending rate. Bank rate is again a policy rate. Generally it is the rate at which a bank can borrow from RBI for long-term purpose, not for liquidity shortfall. In short, if I discuss, repo rate is to overcome short-term liquidity shortfall. Bank rate is not for that purpose. So it is for generally long-term borrowing. So we'll discuss these things in more detail in some later classes. Let us move to the next question. RBI raised limit of collateral free agricultural loans to form the current rupees 1 lakh. Collateral free agricultural loans. Now what is collateral? It is like that security, like whenever a person borrows from bank, generally bank asks for some security. Now there are different terms. One is mortgage, one is collateral, and the third one is pledge. And mostly these are secured loans. And another term is also hypothecation. So mortgage, collateral, hypothecation. I am repeating it. Mortgage, collateral, hypothecation. Mortgage is generally for immovable assets, which means, suppose I am a customer, I would like to take a loan from bank, and to do that, I gave my land or my house as a security to the bank. So the house and the land is not movable asset, it's an immovable asset, and in that case, this will be called mortgaged. My house is mortgaged. This is a secured loan for bank. Second, suppose I have some fixed deposits and I have some national savings certificate, and I would like to take loan against those fixed deposits, and I take those fixed deposits of suppose XYZ bank and go to that bank, give those fixed deposits and ask for a loan. So those fixed deposits are used as security. These are movable. So this is called collateral loan. And the third case is home loan, which is a flat. Not that home loan for we are giving your building. Like there is no asset, I am going to buy a flat. And the flat is hypothecated to the bank. If I don't pay, the bank will take that flat. Car loan. I brought a car by taking a car loan or auto loan, and if I don't pay the money, the bank will take that car. So in this type of cases, it is hypothecated to the bank. Remember, a home loan or house loan can be mortgaged also, can be hypothecated also. So here we are talking about RBI raised the limit of collateral free. That means the farmer did not pay or give any collateral security. Agricultural loan, the answer is 1.6 lakhs. Earlier it was 1 lakh, it has been further improved or increased to 1.6 lakhs, mostly keeping the inflation in mind, and this is a good move to boost the economy. Okay, next question. Goods which are either for consumption or for investment are called. This is an economy based question. Goods which are for consumption, like what we consume, generally the end users. So suppose we go to market and we buy, let's say, a mobile phone. So it is the final good. The answer is option number 2, final good. Now there are some interim goods. Interim goods are like, let's say, the battery of the mobile phone or the camera of the mobile phone. Now the battery of the mobile phone is manufactured by some third company. That battery can be a final good also. When I replace my battery of the existing phone, then I can buy that battery. But in most of the cases, the batteries are inserted within the mobile phone. So we don't buy that battery separately. So that is an interim good. And final good is the one which we buy or for investing. Inferior goods are, you can just from the name itself you can understand this is an inferior good. That means goods are like not superior in quality, they are inferior in quality. Let me take an example. Let's say in case of rice, you have basmati rice and you have atab rice. The basmati rices are of higher price, so they are superior goods, and the atab rices are on lesser price, they are an inferior good. So relative one. A given good is, though it is not quite existent in the system, but yes, there are certain cases where we see this example. A given good is something where the demand increases when the price of the goods also increases. Please understand, generally for anything, when the price increases, the demand decreases. But in the contrary, in case of given goods, the demand increases when the price increases. Let me take an example to understand. Suppose a family consume both basmati rice and atab rice. Basmati rice is priced at suppose 80 rupees per kg and the atab rice is priced at suppose 30 rupees per kg. And for both the things, in the family in a month spend, let's say, 5,000 rupees. That is his quota, 5,000 he can afford, and for that they spend some amount in basmati rice and some amount in atab rice. Now suppose price of both the rices increased, that basmati has also increased by 20% and atab also increased by 20%. Now what happened? The family cannot allocate more than 5,000 rupees. In this case, he has to allocate only 5,000 rupees. But the price of, he cannot also consume less. Total rice intake by the family is constant. Now what they will do, since the price of basmati rice is increased, which was earlier priced higher, somewhere at 80 and the other one was 30, now that has become suppose 96. And 30 has become 36. You can see in one there's a 16 rupees increase per kg, in the other is only 6 rupees increase per kg. So what they do, they reduce the consumption of basmati rice, the family will increase the consumption of atab rice. So if you see, though the price of atab rice increased, but the consumption has increased and hence the demand also increases. So this type of situation may happen in economy. This type of goods are known as given goods, where even after increasing the price, the demand also increases. Virtual goods are like the goods which does not exist in reality, but yet you pay for those goods. For example, a lot of us play video games, and during playing those video games you make purchases in the app. So you buy some guns or maybe some instruments to perform well in the game. So you are paying for those goods, but those goods actually exist virtually. They are not physical goods. So this type of goods are called virtual goods. So you pay for those goods, but they does not exist, do not exist in the system actually. So these are virtual goods. So in various apps, when you make purchases, these are examples of virtual goods. Which Indian IT company has recently partnered with the US-based IBM to set up innovation centers to boost digital transformation and encourage adoption of more cloud-based technologies? So there is some IT company in India tied up with IBM, and they have set up an innovation center and mostly to boost cloud-based technologies. Answer: Wipro, Tech Mahindra, TCS, Infosys, Mindtree. All fiber Indian giants, big IT companies. The answer is Tech Mahindra. The answer is Tech Mahindra. Let us look at some other details. Wipro, please take it down. Founder Mr. Ajim Premji and CEO is Abid Ali Nimchuwala. Recently, very recently, Wipro has actually gave one of its facility in Pune to make it a hospital for the COVID-19 patients. It has tied up with Maharashtra government, and the office facility is converted into a hospital. Quite a good step. Ajim Premji is also known for his philanthropic acts. And Wipro recently gave its one-off facility in Pune to make a hospital for the COVID-19 patients. Remember, this can also be a good question. Tech Mahindra, CEO CP Gurnani. TCS, the largest IT company of the country, CEO Rajesh Gopinathan, CEO Rajesh Gopinathan. Infosys, CEO Salil Parekh, and Mindtree CEO Devashish Chatterjee. Mindtree is owned by Larsen and Toubro L&T. The parent company of Mindtree is Larsen and Toubro L&T. Please take it down. The parent company of Mindtree is L&T, that is Larsen and Toubro. Okay, I hope you could take it down. Infosys Salil Parekh and Mindtree Devashish Chatterjee. Let us go to the next question. World Intellectual Property Day is observed annually on. World Intellectual Property Day is observed annually on. Answer is April 26th April. 15th May is International Day of Families. 15th May is International Day of Families. 15th May. January 29 is Indian Newspaper Day. January 29 is Indian Newspaper Day. 4th August and 18th September, there is no such observances. 15th May, International Day for Families. And answer for this question is option number 3, 26th April. According to the World Press freedom index 2020, India has been ranked dash out of 180 countries. So in this index, out of 180 countries, India has been ranked. Answer is 142. 142. Just imagine. The report is, or the index is prepared by Reporters Without Border, RWF. Reporters Without Border is an international organization of all the reporters, a voice of the global reporters community, Reporters Without Border, and this index has been topped by Norway. The first position, freedom of press, the first position is with Norway, followed by Finland. Okay, let us move to the next question. Which among the following nations recently hosted the 2020 SAARC Health Ministers Conference? SAARC Health Minister Conference, because to encounter this COVID-19 challenge, SAARC stands for South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation, SAARC. The answer is Pakistan. In fact, due to this India-Pakistan conflicts for the last 4-5 years, SAARC has become very silent. Earlier there used to be SAARC summit. The last SAARC summit was cancelled because India denied to participate along with Pakistan, and that's why it has become little insignificant. And but then when it came to the case of SAARC, this COVID-19, the nations felt the necessity to come together, and they participated in this online conference of health ministers. And answer is Pakistan. Pakistan has hosted it. Secretary General of SAARC, His Excellency Mr. Isala Ruwan Veerakun of Sri Lanka. Please take it down. Sri Lanka President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Mahinda Rajapaksa is the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka. Lote Shring, Prime Minister of Bhutan. KP Sharma Oli, Prime Minister of Nepal. And Srimati Vidya Devi Bhandari, President of Nepal. You can take it down. The head office of SAARC is in Kathmandu. The head office of SAARC is in Kathmandu, Nepal. Okay, we are moving to the next question. Ujjivan Small Finance Bank has been recently ranked among the best large workplaces in Asia 2020 by Great Place to Work. Great Place to Work is an institution, a global institution. It is a global authority on workplace culture. They time to time brings the reports and also gives certifications. Now, among the large workplaces in Asia 2020, Ujjivan Small Finance Bank got the fifth rank. And the sixth rank is also by an Indian company, Mahindra and Mahindra Finance Limited. Mahindra and Mahindra Finance Limited is the sixth rank, again an Indian company. The top of this rank this particular list has been topped by Busan Bank, B-U-S-A-N, Busan Bank of South Korea. Busan Bank, B-U-S-A-N, Busan Bank of South Korea is the first ranker in this particular list. Ujjivan Small Finance Bank CEO, MD and CEO, Mr. Nitin Chugh, MD and CEO, Mr. Nitin Chugh, C-H-U-G-H, and sixth position is by Mahindra and Mahindra Finance Limited. Please take it down. Sixth rank, Mahindra and Mahindra Finance Limited. When it comes to small bank, actually it was in last 4-5 years, RBI gradually issued this licenses of small bank and finance bank after the recommendations of Nachiket More committee in 2016. So in 2016, Mr. Nachiket More, under his chairmanship, a committee was formed. He recommended the formation of small banks and finance banks. At present, there are 10 small banks and there are 7 payment banks. At present, there are 10 small banks and 7 payment banks. Paytm is a payment bank. Airtel Payment is a payment bank. India Post Payment Bank. You must have seen the recruitments came earlier. India Post Payment Bank is again a payment bank. Like Ujjivan Small Finance Bank, we have Jana, J-A-N-A, Jana Finance Bank, Northeast Small Finance Bank, and so on. Which among the following nations has recently launched its first military satellite named Noor into orbit? Military satellite. Iraq, Iran. Iraq is quite unlikely. Saudi Arabia, Kuwait and Jordan. Answer is Iran. Iran, President Hassan Rouhani and the topmost leader Hassan Rouhani, before this COVID-19 breakout, US-Iran conflict was one of the most discussed topic in the international level. It was due to their nuclear treaty Iran signed in 2015 with P5+1, where Iran signed a treaty with the US, UK, France, China, Russia and Germany, where Iran has agreed to carve down its nuclear activities and only for the peaceful work. Like they wanted to go for power generation, but they said that they will not get into the development of nuclear weapon. However, in 2019, Donald Trump denied that agreement and said that Iran is not sticking to its promise, and that's why US imposed economic ban on Iran and also threatened that the countries which are going to import crude oil from Iran, they will be also forced under economic ban. India is one of the loser of this particular situation because India had a very good relation with Iran historically, and India used to import quite a lot amount of crude oil from Iran, but because of this particular ban, India had to stop importing crude oil from Iran, and it has impacted quite a lot. Now, amongst all these threats, there was a leader of Iran was also killed, and there's a bombing took place. Among all these threats, Iran has also tested and launched successfully its military satellite called Noor. Hassan Rouhani is the chief head of the state of the country of Iran. Let's move to the next question. Under which name will the Union government set up a chain of 20 lakhs retail shops across India that will provide daily essentials to the citizens while maintaining stringent safety norms? This is due to this COVID-19 outbreak. The government wants to ensure that essential services are provided while keeping the safety norms like social distancing and other hygienic factors are to be maintained. It is not that the government will set up new stores. In fact, it is existing stores which will be converted into this type of stores in association with large FMCG companies in India like Nestle, Hindustan Unilever. They came in front, ITC, they came in front and associated with the government and converting those shops, Kinara shops or maybe some grocery shops into this special type of shops, and this special type of shops are called Suraksha stores. Suraksha stores. Suraksha stores, option number 4. Okay. According to the International Shooting Sports Federation, ISSF, with a total of 30 medals to its credit in 2019, which country finished as the #1 shooting nation in the world? International Shooting Sports Federation, ISSF, ranked India as #1. Answer is option number 5. Out of this total 30 medals, there are 21 gold medals, 6 silver medals and 3 bronze medals. 21 gold, 6 silver and 3 bronze medals takes the tally to total 30. The Indian counterpart of this organization, like Indian setup, is known as NRAI, National Rifle Association of India. NRAI, National Rifle Association of India. NRAI, National Rifle Association of India. The second position in the list was China and the third position is USA. Second position China and the third position USA. India topped the list. And because of this particular event or this particular performance, this type of performance across the year, this 2020 Olympic, when it is going to happen, we don't know. But India has actually got 15 number of participants. India is going to send at least 15 number of participants in Olympic 2020, which is the highest ever India could send in any of the Olympics earlier in shooting category. So quite a good achievement. 15 at least shooters will participate in Olympic representing India. The Ramsar Convention, next question. The Ramsar Convention has recently declared 10 more wetlands in India as sites of international importance. With this addition, how many Indian sites of international importance have been included under this convention so far? Now, Ramsar Convention on wetland is of international importance and is an international treaty for the conservation of sustainable use of wetlands, and it has been overlooked by UNESCO, and at present the number is 37. At present the number is 37. With the addition, how many Indian sites of international importance have been included under this convention so far? 10 new are added, takes the total number to 37. Let us move to the next question. The famous Kataragama temple is located in which country? Kataragama temple is famous because it's quite a unique nature, where you will find a Buddhist guardian deity Kataranga Devio, Buddhist guardian deity Kataranga Devio, and Hindu god Murugan, Hindu war god Murugan, both are worshipped, and there is also a mosque in the vicinity. So it's an amalgamation of three different religions, and this particular temple is worshipped by Hindus, the Buddhists, the Muslims, so and the Veda people also. So in that way, this is quite famous, and the temple is located in Sri Lanka. Answer is option number 2, Sri Lanka. Okay, we are moving to the next question. Net asset value is often associated with which branch of commercial activity? Net asset value is associated with which branch of commercial activity? NAV. In short, it is also called NAV. N-A-V. NAV. The answer is mutual fund. If you see, this net asset value was also used in unit linked insurance policy. Unit linked insurance policy. However, these unit linked insurance policies are almost obsolete in our country now. Unit linked insurance policy, but this is most extensively used in mutual funds. What it means, suppose I have 2000 units of a particular mutual fund. 2000 units of a particular mutual fund, and at present each of this unit is priced at 12 rupees. So my net asset value is 12 multiplied with 2000. This is how we arrive at net asset value. Okay. This term has appeared in bank exam earlier. So let's move to the next question. Which of the following is a tangible asset? Tangible asset and intangible asset. Tangible asset, those which can be touched, felt, and they have a dimension. Intangible, which can be realized, but yet they have some monetary value. They can be converted into, or there can be some earning can be generated using those assets. These are intangible assets. Now from here you can clearly see inventory is the answer. Inventory is nothing but the stock I left with me. There are some stock which is in the display and which I am selling, but there are some stocks which I left, which I am going to sell in future. And for my future days, by the time my next delivery comes, I have some stock left with me. This is in short inventory, and that has some value. This is one of the tangible asset. Whereas patent, business methodologies, copyright, trademark, these are all intangible asset. Patent, business methodologies, copyright, trademark, brand name, those are intangible assets. Let us move to the next question. Prithu Gupta is associated with which sports? Prithu Gupta is associated with chess. He is the 64th Grandmaster, and the last one, at the age of 15 years, he became a Grandmaster in chess, the 64th Grandmaster of our country. Prithu Gupta is related to chess. He is associated with chess, and he is the 64th Grandmaster. He crossed ELO threshold of 2,500 points, beating IMLEV Yankelevich in Portuguese League 2019. So he was at around something 2444, around that point, and after beating Yankelevich, he crossed the threshold point level to become a grandmaster, 2500 points, and became a young grandmaster at the age of 15 in Portuguese League 2019. Portuguese League 2019. So Prithu Gupta, 64th grandmaster in chess. Let us move to the next question. Which Indian American has recently been appointed member of National Science Board for a 6-year term by US President Donald Trump? Appointed member of National Science Board for a 6-year term by US President Donald Trump. Answer is Sudarshanam Babu is the third Indian origin member. Sudarshanam Babu, third person being from Indian origin and be a member of this National Science Board in USA. Other members are Seturaman Panchanathan. Other members are Seturaman, Seturaman, Seturaman Panchanathan, 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 and Suresh V. Garimella, Suresh V for victory, Suresh V. Garimella, Garimella. So these are the 3 persons who are the members of National Science Board by US under US President Donald Trump. The other options: Kaushik Chaudhary, then Humsa Venkatesh, Prineha Narang, Pankaj Lal are all prominent scientists based out of different universities in USA. In fact, Prineha Narang is quite interesting scientist. She has been named by as a young scientist in 2018 by the World Economic Forum. As a physicist, her papers, her inventions are recognized worldwide, and World Economic Forum recognized her as one of the young scientists in 2018, Prineha Narang. And she is based in Harvard University. She is a faculty assistant professor in Harvard University. Okay, let us move to the next question. Which among the following became the first Arab nation to legalize cannabis, marijuana, cultivation for the medical and industrial use? Usually this particular plant, cultivation of this particular plant is illegal. But then this particular country has legalized it for medicinal and industrial use, and yes, marijuana has got quite a lot of medicinal and industrial use. The answer is Lebanon. The answer is Lebanon, option number 4. Let us move to the next question. Which Indian Super League team was Kibu Vikhuna recently appointed head coach? Kibu Vikhuna is a Spanish professional footballer. In 2019, he was the coach for Mohun Bagan. The club became I-League champion. Mohun Bagan became I-League champion in 2019. And recently, he has been taken by Kerala Blaster FC as their head coach. Kerala Blaster FC, option number 4, as their head coach. Kibu Vikhuna. eKuber is core banking solution of Core banking solution is the centralized system wherein all the branches and all the data are linked to a centralized server. So it is the digitalization of the entire banking operation is core banking solution. The answer, e-Kuber is of RBI. Important question. RBI, e-Kuber is the core banking solution of RBI. If you look at NHB is National Housing Bank. NHB is National Housing Bank. MD is SK Hota. It is a developmental bank and mostly into refinancing for banking, for housing sector. Head office of NHB is New Delhi. Head office is New Delhi. NHB head office New Delhi. Okay. SIDBI, Chairman and MD Muhammad Mustafa. Chairman and MD Muhammad Mustafa. Muhammad Mustafa is also the Chairman and MD for Mudra Bank. Mudra, M-U-D-R-A, Mudra Bank. SIDBI, Small Industrial Development Bank of India. Small Industrial Developmental Bank of India. Small Industrial Developmental Bank of India. Chairman and MD Muhammad Mustafa is also the Chairman and MD for Mudra Bank. SBI, Chairman is Rajneesh Kumar, and TCS Banks, B-A-N-C-S, TCS Banks, B-A-N-C-S is the core banking solution of SBI. TCS is the IT company which provides this software solution. TCS Banks is the name of the solution for State Bank of India, and it is also considered as the world's largest centralized core processing unit. It is also considered as the world's largest centralized core processing unit. NABARD head office is in Mumbai. Harsh Kumar Vanwala is the chairman. We discussed in previous classes. Harsh Kumar Vanwala, head office is in Mumbai. SIDBI head office is in Lucknow. SIDBI head office is in Lucknow. Let's move to the next question. Which of the following restricts the payment of a check by way of cash? Which of the following restricts payment of a check by, that means if you do that, the check cannot be paid in cash. The answer is cross check. So in a check leaf, on the top left corner, if you draw two parallel lines, this is called cross check. A cross check cannot be cleared through cash. It has to be cleared only through accounts. A cancelled check is if you cancel it by writing cancelled and striking off the check across the check. A open check is actually, in fact, if you look at ordered check and bearer check are the two types of open check. Open check are those checks which can be paid in a way of by way of cash. That means if you take an open check, you can get the cash from the counter of the bank. Now there are two types of open checks are possible. One is bearer check and order check. A bearer check is whoever bears it, he or she can withdraw the cash. If you write bearer and if I give this check to somebody else, say X, X can give it to Y without any endorsement. That means I did not sign at the back side of the check, and yet the check can be cleared from the counter. So no endorsement is required. Whereas an order check, where I write a name, and if the person wants to give it to somebody else, he has to endorse his signature. That means on the back of the check he has to sign it and endorse the other person. So it can be given to somebody else, but the endorsement is required. In both the cases, the cash can be withdrawn from the counter. Don't need an account to clear the check. Open cash, open check is the one, and there are two types. One is bearer check and the other is orderer check. Bearer check does not need any endorsement. Order check needs endorsement. Bearer check, whoever bears it can go to the bank and withdraw the money. Order check, the person's name written on the check can go and withdraw the money, or he can give it to somebody else by writing his name and endorsing his signature. Alright? So that's all for today. Thank you.